Assalamu alaikum students. I hope all of you are doing great. Well, once again, here is your history teacher, and if you remember that we were revising our second chapter which we had just finished previously. Okay, so I hope your Ramzan is going well and your healths are quite well by the grace of Allah Almighty. So let's start the topic which we are going to revise today. Alright, so today is your lesson number 14 and you must be thinking that it's getting much longer, that government has announced initially the holidays, few holidays, and then another announcement, after that another announcement. So we are just following the government's order, right? So I just ask everybody to pray for the better condition of our country, and in your prayers always remember your country and the whole world where the COVID is spreading rapidly, and there are so many deaths, like our neighboring country in India and the other countries where the deaths are the death rate is increasing day by day. So we can just pray for the mercy of Allah Almighty, right? Alright ji, so first of all open your books and page number 19. On page number 19 you will see the topic, and that is enter the British. Well students, I hope all of you had a great idea right now, that because since many time we are just discussing about the Mughals and the British, how did British came to subcontinent, how did they get the permission for the trade, and how did they finally rule subcontinent. So this is what we will revise today. So enter the British, basically how did British enter the subcontinent. Alright, whenever we decide, well, let me give you an example. Whenever we try to do something, or if you want to visit any place, or if you want to purchase anything that is like what we can say, that if you want to buy something from Lahore, then you must have to visit Lahore, right? Just like that, British wanted to rule India, so that's why first of all they had to understand that what kind of source or what kind of way he actually wanted to enter in subcontinent, right? So this is how we'll see that how did British enter to the subcontinent. All right, so even before the declining of Mughal Empire, Europeans were casting envious eyes on India's wealth. Okay. All right, so even I'm extremely sorry because the phone was continuously ringing. All right, so before the decline of the Mughal Empire, British, they actually wanted to achieve India, right? So they had envious eyes on that territory, because the Portuguese established a base in Goa in 1510 through East India Company, and in 1600 the English Queen Elizabeth I granted permission to a group of merchants to set up the EIC. Well, when they had decided to visit subcontinent, then what the Queen Elizabeth done, she actually called a group of people, a group of rich merchants, and she told them that you have to visit India, but that was not that much easy as she was thinking. So there were many other countries who were actually trying hard to make a base for trade in subcontinent. So Dutch were one of them. So Dutch had a rivalry on the control of spice trade, and EIC first landed in Surat in 1608 until 1612. They were allowed to begin trading. This is how the East India Company established in subcontinent, and how did the Portuguese and Dutch settled their factories or settled their base in different cities of subcontinent. Alright, so students, as you can see the pictures on your screen, well, these are the pictures when East India Company was running good in subcontinent, and how did the influence of East India Company grows. So the British influence in India grew slowly, because as they cleverly they got the permission, and when they got the permission, well, I'm not telling you the much detail that how did they get permission, because you had studied it many times, so it's quite boring. Well, when I'm telling you one thing again and again, so now you have a great idea about the background of this story. Okay, and still if you have not, just read your book, and if you did not get it, then you can ask me. Okay, so by 1664 they had established their headquarters in Bombay, and in 1690 a trading post was established in Calcutta. Like, they had to set up a trading post, and through that post they just export their goods in different countries. By the early 18th century, the East India Company had 3 main bases, and those bases were in Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. The East India Company even had audacity to the war with Aurangzeb in 1686, and he had defeated the company's forces, because when they established their own companies, they actually wanted to rule that place. So they had a fight with the people who were running the East India Company. So when they had fight with Aurangzeb, they actually wanted to get the control in all over the subcontinent, but Aurangzeb defeated. So East India Company was more successful in fighting against other European nations, because obviously they were more in numbers, and they had weapons, so they can threat the other nations who wanted to make a base in subcontinent. So during 17th century, both the Portuguese and Dutch were defeated, and then the rivalry came from French, because French were very strong at that time. So they had set up their trading companies in 1664, and the military skills of the British General Robert Clive enabled the EIC to defeat French. Actually, Robert Clive was a British general, and he just trained, or he played a clever politics, and then they initially, when they took help from French to defeat Dutch and Portuguese, and then they basically defeated French, and they got the control on East India Company. So after writing the Battle of Plassey, Robert Clive was made Governor of General, and his opponents carried out an investigation into his behavior in India, right? So this disgrace coupled with the addiction caused him to make his own life in 1773. So this is how he played, and this is how he just came to his end. So students, this is all for today. Inshallah, in our next lesson we will revise another lesson, but till then you have to complete your worksheets, which most of the students are not doing the work. I don't know why. If you have any problem, then please you can discuss it with me. I will help you, but beta, this is very bad when you just make yourself disconnect with your studies. So I request you once again that attend your lessons, try to solve the worksheets which we assigned through online lessons, and submit it in time. Okay, So as I told you that we have only 2 chapters in final terms. The first one was Muslim reformers and the second one is this. So when we start our revisions, we will start the revision of chapter 1, because the revision of second chapter we had just completed. Okay, so within 2 or 3 lessons we will just finish the revision of this lesson, and then we'll start, if the holidays will prolonged after Eid, then we will start the revision of first chapter, right? So okay students, just take care of yourself and have a blessed Ramzan. Allah Hafiz.